Culture is a fundamental aspect of human society that shapes identity, behavior, and society interaction. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, culture is defined as behavior peculiar to Homo sapiens together with materials, objects used as an integral part of this behavior. It encompasses all the ways of life including art, belief, and institution of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Edward B. Taylor, a founding figure in anthropology, described culture as that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, law, moral, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. Art functions as one of the most visible expressions of culture. Art is a visual object or experience consensually created through an expression of skill or imagination. The term art encompasses diverse media such as painting, sculpture, printmaking, drawing, decorative art, photography, and installation. According to Aristotle, art is the imitation of nature, but it is also a source of knowledge and a way to understand human emotions, acting as a representation of human action and life. In the Malaysian context, traditional art such as wayang kulit, makyung, Chinese lion dance, and Bharatanatyam are deeply embedded in the cultural practice of the Malay, Chinese, and Indian communities. In conclusion, art and culture are intrinsically linked, forming a dual pillar of human identity, while culture provides the framework from how humanity life belief in interaction. Art is the vital pulse within the framework that gives tangible form to a society's internal world. This report aimed to critically examine how the Malaysian film Magika represents culture, art, and practice, and to compare this mediated portrayal with authentic real-life culture context in Malaysia. This analysis is essential to fulfill the course learning outcome SDCIK1063, which required students to analyze and interrupt Malaysian culture, art, and communication practice in media and real-life context.
2.0 Media Overview is summary of selected media. In this assignment, the film that the researchers study is the Malaysian film Magika. This film is a musical fantasy genre that was directed by Adri Abdul Halim and published on 23 December 2010 in Malaysia. The story tells the journey of two siblings, Ayu and Malik, who are suddenly transported into a mysterious and magical world known as Magika. The story begins when they accidentally enter the fantasy realm, which is filled with various characters inspired by traditional Malay folklore. Throughout their journey, they encounter several unique and symbolic characters such as Badang, Nenek Kebayan, and other mystical figures who either help or challenge them along the way. As they struggle to find a way back home, Ayu and Malik must overcome obstacles, solve problems, and learn to rely to each other. The narrative is further enhanced by musical elements where songs are used to express emotional, develop characters, and move to the story forward. The conflict arises as they face both external danger within the magical world and internal struggle between themselves, especially in understanding trust, courage, and responsibility. As the story progresses, the siblings begin to grow emotionally and mentally, adapting to the unfamiliar environment. In the end, their journey in Magika becomes not only a quest to return home, but also a meaningful experience that teach them important life value and strengthen their bond as a sibling.
Culture, context, and significance. The film Magika serves as a vibrant cultural representation of Malay folklore presented through a modern fantasy musical form. There are several culture contexts that exist in the film, such as the blending of traditional mythological elements with contemporary storytelling. The film highlights characters and creatures from Malay legends, reflecting the richness of local cultural heritage and oral storytelling tradition. There are several culture contexts that exist in the film, such as the contrast between the real world and the magical world. The real world represents normal human life, while the magical world represents imagination, folklore, and traditional beliefs that are deeply rooted in a Malay culture. In addition, the film emphasizes moral values such as bravery, loyalty, and the importance of family, which are commonly found in traditional Malay stories and are shown through the characters' journey and struggle in the magical world. In conclusion, the film Magika is more than a fantasy musical film. It is a cultural narrative that preserves Malay folklore while presenting it in a modern and entertaining form. The film successfully bridged traditional storytelling with contemporary cinema, allowing audience to appreciate cultural heritage in an engaging way.
So next is a critical analysis, comparison media representation versus real-life practice. So in the film Magika, herbal medicines is portrayed in an imaginative way, almost as if it has magical powers. It is used easily and quickly to help the characters, adding a fantasy element to the story. The use of jamu in the film shows it producing extraordinary effect within the fictional world. However, in real life, jamu is a traditional herbal drink made from natural ingredients such as roots, herbs, and spices. It is used gradually to maintain health, boost energy, or help with certain health conditions. Its effects do not happen instantly like in the film, but instead require consistent use are based on traditional practice or health guidance. Next, in the film Magika, communication is portrayed creatively through the use of a tin can telephone, which highlights a traditional and imaginative atmosphere. This device is shown to function easily and effectively in delivering messages between characters, thereby supporting the fantasy element in the storytelling. However, in real life, society relies on modern communication technology such as smartphones to connect with one another. Devices like iPhones allow communication to happen instantly through calls, messages, and the internet without distance limitations. This technology also offers clear sound quality and various additional functions that support daily life.
Next is comparison between traditional and modern adaptation based on the film Magika. The first point is outfit. First, let's look at the traditional outfit. We can see Hang Tuah and Han Jebat wear clear traditional Malaysian clothing. On the other hand, in modern outfit, which is Ayu and Malik were wearing modern outfit from outside the world. Point number 2 is construction. On the traditional one, in the movie, the houses are traditionally constructed using wood, which is typical for village houses. In contrast, modern houses nowadays are built with bricks focusing on coziness and minimalism, such as bungalows and condominiums. The last point is aesthetic and lifestyle. Finally, we can see the difference in aesthetic and lifestyle. For the traditional, the community in Dunia Khayalan like Bunyan has agriculture and culturally rich traditional looks. For modern, meanwhile, modern society today focuses on high living standards such as using branded items, driving luxury cars, and being highly active on social media.
Hello guys, have you guys ever wondered why Magika films feel so unique to compare with other fantasy films? What makes Magika special is how it transforms old Malay legends into a colorful fantasy adventure. Instead of learning folklore from books, audience can get to experience it through memorable characters, exciting challenges, and magical settings. This makes traditional stories feel more relevant and appealing, especially to younger generation. Ayu and Malik adventure is not just about finding their way home. It is also a journey of discovering the importance of culture and tradition. The film reminds us that while we live in a modern world, our cultural heritage remains a valuable part of who we are. Overall, Magika is more than just a fantasy film. It is a celebration of Malaysian culture that helps preserve folklore for a younger generation. For reflection, after watching Magika, I felt that it is not just a fantasy movie for entertainment. The movie carries a meaningful message about family, bravery, and never giving up when facing difficulties. What actually caught my attention the most was how Magika brings Malay folklore and traditional characters to life in a modern and enjoyable way. It made me realize that our culture can still be relevant and appreciated by younger generation. Through Ayu and Malik's journey, we can learn the importance of staying strong, supporting one another, and believing in ourselves even during tough situations. Overall, Magika is fun and meaningful film that successfully combines entertainment with valuable life lesson. That's all for me. Thank you.